Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Biblical Britain. Thank you for watching and welcome any new subscribers. If you are a new subscriber and you haven't watched any of the previous videos, although you will see some, these are the next, well, lot of code that I've got. It's pretty spectacular on its own, and you could in truth get an idea of what's going on here watching it. But obviously the previous video show how we got to this point. Right. Firstly, this is take 4 on this video, so apologies for the delay. I've been trying for a week to do this, and this is my 4th attempt. The main one was 2 hours long, wouldn't upload. So what I'm going to try and do, because I've had a load of code, so much code since, and it was only, not that long ago. I was wondering where I was going with this, but I'm certainly way in advance now. And on that note, I'm going to get cracking. Okay, what's been revealed to me? And I say been revealed because this is really truly what happens. I don't like to use this analogy, but the closest thing I can what's the word, relate this to, but obviously please don't ever do this, but really I'm working on the good version of something akin to I'm not even going to write the word, but a Ouija board, where basically what's going on, I get downloads. I don't know how this happens, but I just instinctively know or get triggers to go and look at something, a place, a name, or I get taken there by where I work or whatever, different places I do tend to move around on a Friday, and basically find all the messages that you just, and what we're doing is ultimately proving that there is a divine creator who created everything, and he literally put a plan together, and it is written in the most amazing places in creation. Really, it's all been there and designed by design. So, and on that note, you'll see my name coming up a lot. Again, this is not me being, well, I don't even know how I got here really, and I'm starting to learn who I am, and slowly but surely it's starting to sink in. But without further ado, let's crack on and let's just prove, talk is cheap. Let's prove the point. Okay, so first thing I got, I say the first, it probably wasn't the first, but I got the word Atlas. Okay, right? Okay, what is Atlas? Okay, well, Atlas is a code in itself because it's a last, and and it's in an atlas because the message is in the maps basically. So ultimately, what we're getting is a last message before some. And again, I will state I don't know when any of this is going to take place, but I do ultimately know that the signs are all coming, and really, I would say I'm putting in place pre-prophecy to what is, and warning to what is coming, and that's what this is what I've been blessed to do, really, and it is a blessing. Don't get me wrong, it's not been easy getting here. I've had to give up everything, literally, but it's worth it if we can, for what's at stake, it's worth it. Okay. Right, Atlas, so a last. Right, firstly, I just want to point out that where I work is, I've showed this before. Please, if you've watched these videos, hold with me because there's some incredible code coming. I work at Eastleigh in Corsham. Okay. First thing first, obviously that's exactly where I am now, is Eastleigh, and it's actually called, or the bunker that this place is built in that I'm guarding effectively, is Eastleigh's mine. Now the first thing is this the first thing is anagram this, and it says yes, Atlas mine basically. So let's, just to show you this is not coincidental, and this, well, and the mine will become apparent now. If you haven't watched the last video, you'll already have some idea what we're talking about here. I'm just move this forward a bit. No, we can all see it. My pens are dying to death, and that's why I've redone this video now. Right, okay. Yes, Atlas mine. Caution is Marcos H. This is a code. So if you see me using the word, that's caution. So if you see me using, say, mentioning the H or the G, because the G is a code as well for me, so is the H. But I think on this particular one, there's I don't think it matters anyway, in truth. But anyway, on to, okay. In fact, before we get to the keys, right, just comes confirmation, just to show you how this all works. Last week, let me just find, where are you? Where were we, folks? Right, last week, I hate doing negative things, but what I did is a TikTok line, basically. It's a time ticking line. But near to Bristol, we got the place called Wraxall. Next to it, we've got Failand. And above it, further up, we've got Cirencester. Well, these are all these three. Cester. All these three actually link together and give you a code. Basically, what the evil people of this planet are planning to do, and we're all being distracted, but believe me, it's already going, is firstly you take WAR, that's War X all. That's the plan. They're going to start a war and they're going to X us all, basically, and kill us all off. Fortunately, written in Cirencester, it says there's a nicer secret. Again, you can check these anagrams back, but for time's sake, you can I'll take my word for it, I'll check them back, but I can assure you I've got no intention of twisting anything. Even if it doesn't fit, don't put it on. I won't put it on. So, War X all. Now, the good news and the nicer secret is that they fail. Okay. Right, as per usual, I get confirmation somewhere else. I get led to the Me Keys, basically in Wales, and that's going to become apparent now what that's about, because I've got a cracker of a code on that. Right, okay, so what I got taken to is a place called Llanfair. This is in Monmouthshire, just up from where all the Me Keys are. Right, Llanfair Kilgettin. And when I've I got the Scrabble it, it says, and this is obviously this place has been there for years. So this is also, you have to remember that a lot of this is prophetic as well, because it's already predicting that I'm going to do what I actually did last week. And what it says is G, oh there we are, there's the G. G ran end all. There's only one L, but again, when you get the narwhal whale code, you've got the end on dropping an L anyway, but either way, all it's pretty clear what this is saying. Kill vid. Obviously, vid being video. So, to go with your War Exal, just to confirm that this is all planned and that it's all meant to be, and that there's no coincidence. Llanfair Kilgettin, G-Ran, end all kill vid. So I ran the end all kill vid, which I indeed did. So there's a prophecy in itself and confirmation that this is all very, very real. Okay, right, okie dokie, now to the next. Right, it says in the Bible, incidentally, it says in the Bible, he who breaks the Old Testament, right, be aware that I'm not just pulling this and making a matrix. It actually mentions the matrix 5 times in the Old Testament, believe it or not. So it's not, and if you're going to have a matrix, where is it going to be? It has to be somewhere, and obviously this is what it is, and it's all tricks, and I will show you as well how clever it is, because this is not something that can be done by people. There's no way that, because this message goes across the world as well, and it's deliberate. It jumps around because it really just shows that one person could not put all this together. So therefore you have to ask yourself this, well, like the answer's simple. There has to be a divine creator who literally did exactly what he said in the Old Testament. He says, or Old Testament, he says, I spoke it and it will happen. And he literally meant he spoke it and it will happen. How you comprehend that? I don't know how you comprehend any of it, but it clearly is real, as I'm about to show you. Okay, so again, I apologise for running over some old stuff as well in this, people, but it's all relevant to what we're going to do now. Right, near to where I live, in the decoded Jerusalem, or what we know as Jerusalem, is Chemies Inferior. I have to put these on there, guys, because it connects well, something absolutely phenomenal. Okay. These are me keys inferior. They're the lesser keys of Solomon's kingdom. I'll explain that as well, how this all works in a picture just after I've done this. Okay, inferior. So they're lesser keys, they're inferior keys. And this relates to the stars as well, believe it or not, as I'm about to show you. Okay, so me keys inferior. Okay, so they're me keys and they're inferior. Okay, then we have, just so there's no argument, no contesting about the nature of the next place decode, we have a place called Langstone, which is note slang. Okay, so it's telling you that the next place along, there's slang in it basically. So okay, and there is indeed the message, and right, okay, the message, this place is called, these are all in Monmouthshire, which is where Solomon's kingdom is actually, as I've shown in previous videos. And right, okay, so Park Seymour is, yup, Marco Roos. Okay, why is it called Roos? Why does it say Roos? Because the only person that's ever worked out that, well, obviously they worked this out, not through my own doing, but I found it's called Rusilum. It's because it was called Ventus Ilurum, and it stands as Ventus Ilurum in Kyle Went at the moment. Ventus Ilurum, the Roman name, Rusilum is the anagrammed Silurum part. The G, well, the G is a bit more complicated, but if you've been watching these videos, you'll understand it. And clearly, well, it will come into play as I go on in this video. Right, okay, so now right, okay, so I looked at all these, and I keep calling this one Chemies Inferior. I noticed it on every video, but it still didn't twig. But there is a place just north of this little bunch of keys called Chemies Commander. Now, I see this and I thought, yeah, command the keys type thing, or the commander of the keys, what have you. But I got basically, like I say, the triggers come in, or the thought goes there, go and have a look at it, and I did. And unbelievably, this is what I decoded. Marco, mend me keys. Okay, so when you put the four together, you get Marco, mend me keys inferior, note slang, yup, Marco Roos. Okay, now obviously all the other place names around this, they all seem to be coded. Well, I'm breaking them like a rate of knots at the minute, and that's like I say, I'm going to have to break this down into more than one video because I have that much. So I'm going to try and keep this relatively short and simple, and then move on to the next one. But believe me, the codes I've got, they at least parallel this. If not, I don't know, there's something else. Either way, right, okay, so without further ado, right, normally when I get these I put stars on them because I put constellations on them. That one's Hercules. This one is Monoceros. You've got Draco, you've got right, these two I'm going to give, obviously I haven't given a star name to yet, but I'm about to, and show you why, and it's very telling for the times. But these places, in fact, right, you've got sort of Chemies Commander is up here, Chemies Inferior is here, I don't know, this would be Langstone, then you've got Park Seymour, literally one after the other, and then you get G. Roos is down here. But what I'm thinking is, oh, there must be a picture of a key in this. But like, talk about not seeing it in front of you. What there is, obviously, one of the forts in question here, as all big part of this, is Llanmelin. Well, Llanmelin is, I call it the key fort, because when you look at it from the air and look down on it, is in fact, I don't need to draw a key. There's already one drawn, and it's, well, I say it's natural. There's no such thing as natural. You created it that way. And it's a hill fort, basically, and it isn't that, without shadow of a doubt, when you look at it, you will see it's a key. So I've not only got all these messages, they all sit around a key on a fort, and it's the key to everything. It's the key to David's kingdom. It's the key to the safe zone, because just so you know, a last message, there is a safe note zone if you knew. But as you can see, this is no coincidence, and I really am breaking the matrix. And believe me, I've broken a lot more of it than this. And that's what I intend to show for the next few videos. And as quick as I get it out, more comes in. But I'm not complaining. Right, okay. Right, let's take it up to the stars, literally. Okay, so like in Daniel, it says, I don't know whether this applies to me, but it does sound, well, I can't see how else you could do it, but he says, well, someone takes down the stars and stamps on them. Well, I don't know whether that means me stamping them onto the ground or not, but either way, if it is or isn't, here's where they are. Right, okay, so we got Kemi's commander, or Miki's commander. Okay. Well, this is the constellation, because I'm working in constellation, not stars as such, even though there's stars within the constellation, we code in them. But Kemi's commander will be what is known as, and there's a reason for this, Ursa Major. Why is it Ursa Major? Right, you'll see how these connect. And secondly, we got the Kemi's inferior will be Ursa Minor. Well, the first thing to know is you've got minor inferior, that makes sense, and major and a commander. Well, that makes sense. This is referring to something military. So what we're going to do, basically Ursa, when we unscrabble it, becomes a Rus. So we've got a Rus major commander and a Rus minor, basically a Rus minor. What does this mean? Right, this one is known as the Great Bear. And I think this one is known as the Little Bear, or something along those lines, or the Lesser Bear, or something. No, Little Bear, I'm sure of it. But either way, that's what it implies, and that's what it, in fact, I'm sure it is, Little Bear. Okay, so you've got the Great Bear and the Little Bear. Right, okay. Now, this is where, again, this is all to do with prophecy, because it just keeps going back to this. Right, and I know this may sound strange to some people, some of this, but this is I had a vision. And I found some other things as well, which are starting to really spark up things that are happening in the world. I had a vision. I saw Russian helicopters drop, and I don't normally talk about visions because there's nothing to back them up. But this sort of thing is starting to back up what I was seeing, which is making me think that I know it connects without the doubt. Well, a Rus major commander is a Rusha, and that's why this is called the Great Bear. Now, what has that got to do with this area? Well, firstly, you've got Rus, and then you've got SIA. And now, as crazy as this is, SIA relates, this is what the job I'm doing is my badge SIA, it's security. And it's a code written in so that I understand it, Russian security forces, basically in the UK. But the word security is good because that tells me there's something not so bad with it. Now, why is there a Rus minor? Because, again, that's why. Because I live in Rus, and my job is an SIA. And this is, I don't know how this is going to happen, but this little bear and I got a feeling this little bear and this Great Bear is somehow going to end up, well, without doubt, meeting in the exact place, in the Rus. in the roots, and you know, in the place of the keys. Like I said, I've no idea on time scale, but this is all really starting to make sense. But however, whichever way it goes, Kemi's commander, Ursa Major goes on Kemi's commander, Ursa Minor goes on Kemi's inferior, and that's the code behind it. Again, this is why this is all written in a last message on that subject, and that's just prompted me. I noticed something as well, and this is so critical, really. Right. And again, I don't know how or why it all relates to me, but clearly I was planned in advance, and well, I found something actually that sort of pointed me to realise, well, a bit more than I know, or answering questions. But anyway, right, stars, these are the pillars of Solomon, okay? Now, I've unscrambled a lot more with, obviously, Solomon's kingdom and the codes. The wise code is Solomon's, which gives you England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, and the kingdom of Solomon. Anyway, right, there's the sun. I'm going to put a smiley face on him. That's me. Right, okay. And on their symbology, the Masons, they've got a sort of quarter moon, I'm sure of it. Up here are 7 stars. Okay. The 7 stars represent the Pleiades. And there's more to that to come. That's please ID. Okay, when you unscramble that word, it's please ID, or please identify. Right, the sun has a face on it because it's a sun. Oh, and the Masonic arch as well, which doesn't always appear on these pillars, but it should be there. Has the sign of Cancer on it. Again, watch the last video ideally, because I'm not going to go into the whole 6 and 9 thing of the tribes. But this is a sun of the moon sign in Cancer. Please ID, sun of the moon sign in Cancer. Okay. Now, what's happened? This is what I'm getting, and this absolutely right. Okay, this moon has obviously waned, and no one knows of this safe zone. But somebody is going to come along and bring out the full moon to illuminate everything connected with this. Right, the Cancer, the constellation, is made up of 2 small stars there. This goes up, this connects there. It's in the shape of a Y, but this Y connects to the land and the stars. Because the one in the moon sign Cancer is, when it comes full moon, is illuminating the safe zone. Because this is Fort Llanmelin, this is G-Roos, this is the Holy Head above, obviously. Then you've got Exeter and you've got Swindon. Okay, that's the sort of the area, or the Canaan, Egypt and Judea, K-E-Y. That's as well, because that goes to K, that goes to E, and that goes to Y as well. So you not only have that, you have a key. Right, the key is the moon shining and highlighting this area. Right, what I realised as well, by when the moon comes full, this also gives you a Solomon code. Because this is Sol, this is the O of, this is the name Solomon now. So we've got the Sol, this is the O, and this is Mon. Well, Mon is exactly where these are. These two are in Monmouthshire. And that's, you know, Monmouthshire Gwent, where the G went, and that's why there's a G there. They're showing off. But there's a lot more to that. Let's not get into it. But basically, this is another code within a code. Sun of the moon sign is sun of the moon sign in Cancer, but it's the Sol O, which is the moon, the highlight moon, basically revealing everything because the light, it's the light, the bright moon in the darkness, and that's clearly what I'm doing. So I've no doubt, for however it's me, I don't know, but this symbology relates to me, or I wouldn't be able to make sense of it. Okay, and I'm born in Cancer, just so you know. So it's not that I'm not 30th of June 1970. I was born. So there's no, you know, obviously this fits with a million other things that fit, which is why, you know, it's taken me time to get my head around all this in truth. But anyway, back to the matrix. Okay, so this ties beautifully into this next code. Bear with me a second, guys.